I had 1,000 followers at the time on YouTube. It did 3.5 million views on that platform, even though I had no followers, because it was a relatable story that basketball players understand and have an opinion on, and comment that either agree or disagree with me, and join me for that story. So this is where, if you're a single platform creator, I know we're not in America right now, but if you're American Week, please put your content on all these platforms. And if you're telling great stories, I promise you, you'll see similar results. My basketball page, I post all of it across Instagram and TikTok. 80,000 followers on Instagram in 1 year, 50,000 on TikTok in 1 year, the exact same content. So I hope you just go tell some stories. Like, I really think this is the strongest power that you'll find in your short form storytelling. You want to make people relate to you. You don't want to just do trend content. You don't want to just do 20-second videos. Try to make that 90-second video where you're doing free act structure. Use strong hooks. Tell people really who you are as a person, what you struggle with, what you want to accomplish. Then give them that reason to continue on from there. That's the show today. So I hope you learned something about storytelling. Thank you. We have 4 minutes and 38 seconds. I've been threatened I'll be tackled if we go over that. So if you have questions, we'll go fast. Go. The emotional benefit of your products. 1, 2, go.
What is your writing process? What's your writing?
My writing process is I will sit down by myself and pump out a bunch of ideas that I think are compelling or worthy. Or, because I don't want to be too disruptive of my life, when I play on these basketball teams, throughout the game, I will actually think about stories as I'm playing basketball, which is totally ridiculous. I realized that I was shooting a very high 3-point percentage. That was like an NBA player during the season. So then I turned that to, can I shoot as well as an NBA player? So it's a mixture of planning ideas ahead of time and then living your life and seeing what's really compelling within that to write your hook. Then from there, I write the stories once I have the hook. But I always start with the hook. Write the hook first. And if we go over, I'll hang out over here afterwards so we can talk forever.
Followers, and you need to start your content creation from zero. How you will start from zero? Like 1 million, something like that. And how much time?
I would do it the way that I just talked about. I think the real value of storytelling is it immediately increases the reason why someone should follow you. Like, if you've ever had a viral video, you probably didn't get as many followers as you thought you were going to get from that. Because people just scroll, like, click, oh, I like that, scroll right past it. So I would immediately think of, what is the reason someone should follow me? And does every video I make explain that reason? So I would start with, why should someone follow me? Answer that question for yourself.
Hello, Jack.
There we go.
Hi, how are you, Jack?
Good, great.
I'm actually starting a new channel where, since you mentioned DC, so just on top of my mind, I'm starting a new content. It's more focused on the villain side of the universe. DC and Marvel more than the heroes themselves,
sure,
because they do deserve some attention more. So how would you recommend storytelling in that context?
Well, are you just trying to explain the villains really, their
I'm
backstories?
trying to explain the villains and explain their point of view, like to shed more shadow, to cast them out of the shadow, actually.
So I'm a Marvel guy. Like, imagine if you start a video where you're like, Loki was right the whole time. Like, just explain, like, you can use very simple emotional language. We're just validating what are villainous opinions. That right there is going to build some interest. I follow some accounts that are like that in fictional content, where it's like, why this person had it right the entire time. I would say, there's a reason you believe in these villains. Turn that into your hooks.
Amazing.
Love that.
Thank you.
We got another minute.
I have a question here.
I don't know where the mic is.
Right here.
There we go. Hi.
Hi, Jack. So 2 questions. For news content creation on social media. So news is storytelling, but it's a bit more serious. How do we turn more serious topics into social media videos? And then my other question is, how do you personally feel about the TikTok ban in the US?
I don't like the TikTok ban. I'm anti the ban. I personally think it'll be banned for like a week, and then Trump will probably save it because 78% of Americans are against the ban. It'll be like a really easy way for him to be popular. So that's my prediction. Who knows if it's going to happen or not. For news, if you're trying to make a serious story, into like any type of entertaining. The Washington Post is kind of the gold standard of this. The Washington Post TikTok account, guy named Dave Jorgensen, he tells funny skit content to explain. Have you seen that account? Oh, so look up the Washington Post. He turns news into skits. And then if you're trying to do it more serious, you've heard me say like emotional human benefit quite a bit here. Like I'm from California, where you may have noticed there's a lot of wildfires happening. They're just taking out most of the city. On the dark side, I mean, a hook could be how many 30,000 houses were lost in the last week of the fire. It's a dark hook, but it's the honest of what that news story is. And people will stay for that. I personally try to avoid negative content just because I think there's too much negative content in the world as is. But there's always a statistic or a human benefit or emotional value there that should be compelling. That's all the time I have, but I'm gonna hang out in one of these sides here. Like, I would love to keep talking to you guys about this stuff. I nerd out on it, that's why I flew for 12 hours to see you all today. So thank you for having me. Hope you learned something.